My bad. My bad. Put the mic thing on wrong. There we go. There we go. Alright. Make sure that's right in the middle. Boom. Now it's time to get comfortable. Hang out. I need to make the live, call it some type of session, some type of cool, chill gaming session. Let's see. Also, I've got a new board that I'm going to use because I always write notes, but somehow, of course, it always gets smudged off of my board. So, ooh, that looks cool. Solo Rogue Light. Looks interesting. Alrighty. There we go. And there we go. Alright. So, yep. I got a board. So, as we're learning along the way, I'm going to put the stuff up here. I should have gotten a napkin. Let's look in my jar. Oh! Shucks. Thanks, Mrs. Coach. Wonder what I did with my eraser things. Alright, so all the things that I learned as for notes, I'm going to mark it down right here so then I can transfer it to a sheet of paper. So that's what we'll use this for. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. So this is the RuneQuest Starter Set. Let's see. I got a cool notepad right there. Oops. This is good. Let's see. Make sure that's in the camera. Boom. All right. So we got a few goodies inside of this starter box. Starter set, which is a starter box. The map is pretty dope too. That's pretty nice. Right there. It's got some really cool artwork. I've never played RuneQuest before. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure it's probably a D100 system, like Call of Cthulhu is. I'm gonna put this right here. So here we're gonna play this solo quest. Wow, Mrs. Coach. Thanks for the love, Mrs. Coach. Thanks for the love. Let me see. Okay, that glare isn't too bad. Let me see what I can put in place of that. Let me put this right here. Is that right? For now? My little nose is stuffed out. Oh, look, I've got so much space over there. I need a camera that looks down at my camera so that way. Oh, wow, that didn't do anything. Because it's glass. Wow. Duh, right? So, again, I don't really know much about this game. Maybe we'll try the dice out. I'm not a fan of the color of the dice, but I understand why they went with this particular color. But the dice, they're not bad at all. They're actually good dice. I like the way that they feel. I like good dice. They feel good. So let's see. We got the rules that we're going to kind of look through a little bit. It's got an adventure book inside of here. It's got the world of Glorantha. And I thought that was pretty cool. There's a whole booklet right here to get you intro into the world. And I think this is the character we're going to be using for solo. I thought I saw 2 names on characters that were going to be, what do you call it? Pretty dope tattoo. Look at some of these characters. It does look like it's a pretty big character sheet. I think because it has extra stuff, maybe the intro to them and stuff, and how to play them. I'm over here looking at it. I'm supposed to be showing you guys too. Sharing. Okay, the pad does make a difference. Alright, so I think we'll look at one of these character sheets. My ear is itching. The Vampire Castle Gaming. Word. Dope name. What's up? How you doing tonight? Let me see. I'm trying to get some of these it comes with quite a few character sheets. I'm not exactly sure why. It comes with a couple, of course, like they always do. At least what I've run into. I don't want to say always, but at least from what I've seen, they come with, pre-generated. I'm doing pretty good. What's up, Warple? I'm doing pretty good, thanks. Warple, doom. All right, so it comes with. I don't know how many it is, but we can look at the sheet because I'm pretty sure it has all that good information in there. It does come with this cool map. I don't know if you can see what the materials is. I don't know this. I don't know if it's like vinyl, some type of. It's nice though. Ooh, it's a nice map too. RuneQuest is a very old game. Word, Vorpal. I've heard. I've definitely heard. I don't know exactly how old, but I've definitely heard. But let me see. So let's get in the camera. See. Oh, awesome. That's a good picture right there. We can get a good. What you call it? I got you. Call you vampire or vamp, no doubt. Well, word. Welcome, and thank you for joining. Thank you for saying what's up too. I appreciate your time. Goes back to the 70s, right there with the original D&D. Oh, wow, I didn't know it was. I don't want to call that old, but I didn't know they had been around that long. So that's cool. It looks like, I don't know, it looks like it's got more rules. Or it's like the word I guess people have used crunchy than like 5e for some reason, but really I don't know. Reminds you of the Greek mythology. It did to me too. It's we're gonna look at some of the stuff inside of here. Let's see. I just want to look at this map, but the map is cool, and I want to show you guys yet another cool map. And you get a reference guide, which is always a pleasure inside. Maybe we could probably pull this out because, yeah, maybe we'll pull this out because that's a pretty big reference guide. Oh, it's pretty nice too. Got some good information on there, so we'll pull that out. I forgot that was in there. I haven't really messed with this box set except I did a review 63 years old. Word. Mrs. Coach, I always want to know that. Also, always. Yeah, 63, no doubt. Let's see. So we'll take this out too. We'll use this as well. It has some type of rune system, which I think is pretty interesting. I don't know exactly. Again, I don't really know much, but has a description of the rune as well. So we'll put this to the side too. We'll put this stuff back inside of this box. And I guess we'll try the dice out. Because why not? Facts. Definitely a community for everybody. Try to make it. Well, I don't try, but I would like, my desire is for it to be a nice, warm, and welcoming community. Just everybody living their life, having fun together, putting all of the chaos to the side, and just chilling out and having a good time. You know what I mean? So that is the type of environment that I would desire. So let's see. I'm gonna put this. Let me stash this in here. I haven't even added it to my dice yet because I wasn't a fan, but maybe it'll work for me tonight. All right. Do 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 do. I got my drink. Let me move my stuff. That sweet tea needs some water. All right, put it right there. Reference guy. Oh, let me get some pencils out. In my lucky box. See, I definitely understand why they went with the color of the dice. So I can dig it. I can dig it. Oh wow, look. I don't think I've really looked at I haven't looked at this particular cover, but the art on here is really nice. Yeah. Let me see. Can you guys see that too? Once I stop moving it around. D&D stopped being a game, became woke activism, and those people are vicious. I don't even really understand what the name woke is. Woke means and stuff. I'm kind of I prefer to kind of like live and let live. Just mind my own, you know. I just want to live my life and just, you know, and I leave people alone, and I prefer to just have the same thing. So, yeah. All right. So, I want to see. Could you see? I have to take my glasses. Oh man, I got my glasses fixed. Okay, I had tape around my glasses. All right, and I'm not gonna complain because my lenses were good. You know, and sometimes I feel like I need a pair of glasses to find my glasses. So again, I'm not gonna complain because it was still working, but it was a little bit of an inconvenience. But again, it could be worse. So I was glad, but I'm happy to have them fixed and stuff and ready to go. Yeah, and I also haven't had playing D&D, playing 5e. I have yet to have any bad interactions. You know, while I was playing with, and I played with a lot of different groups. I played it, you know, I play in person, and I've ran games in person. So I've played with honestly nothing but strangers since I've been playing ttrpgs. So wait, what? Woke activists? Oh, you're saying? Oh my! I was like, wait a minute, what? What do you mean, Vorpal? Okay, so you said woke activists. Probably shouldn't say all that out loud and stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry that is your experience. Absolutely, I'm sorry it's your experience, but has definitely hasn't been mine. Like I said, I haven't had any negative experiences playing 5e, playing any tabletop RPG. Like I said, games that I've ran, and I don't. You know, I've ran. You know, I've had some of the same players join different you call it adventures, but I don't really talk to anyone really outside of the game. But and I have a great time with everybody. Everybody is cool, warm, and welcoming. No one's getting any problems. Everybody's once we sit down and play the game, everybody's just playing. We're just playing, grooving, chilling. Everybody's playing their own way that they play. Yeah, everybody's just living. I haven't had any issues. Yeah, no, I haven't had any issues at all whatsoever with anybody. I've had some interesting interactions with people, with one in particular, but out of the almost I don't know, it's a year and a half or something that I've been GMing, and ever since I've been playing, I've had really great experiences with people, really good players that get into the game, that how we work together. I've had some really great experiences. But let's see. So RuneQuest and Glorantha. And let's see. Like I said, I think it is a D100 system. I'm not gonna go through every single thing inside of this book, but we're gonna, go along. Along the way we'll learn. So hopefully it's made the solo adventure. I'm pretty sure that's what the purpose is, for you to get familiar with the game. That's what I like. That's why I play solo. That's why I started playing solo. I'm like, I want to, get familiar with the game, so when I do run it, I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just thinking I wanted to get familiar with the game. So here we go. I have a few things outlined. Again, done a quick review on this, but haven't really delved too deep into it. And I do see, let's see. So the game system, all characters, whether adventurers, non-characters. Okay. Okay. So you've got strength, constitution, size, dexterity, intelligence, power, and charisma. Vorpal, I can dig that. I can dig that. I don't know, I can dig that. I can dig that. Like I said, I haven't had any issues and stuff whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? That's not all at all. Even on the channel, you guys have been like really awesome supporters. I mean, even if it wasn't the best, I still would have kept going. But it is very it makes things so much easier. Such a great community out there. At least I get a pleasure of running into really just the most coolest of people. A few of them have joined the Discord, so I have just definitely has some really great interactions. I run into stinky people, but I really really do run into more better people than stinky people. I haven't had anybody pressure me about calling them a specific thing. I try to make it a point to just call people by their names. I really do try to, and I'm sure I've made mistakes and stuff, but I make it a point to I try to make it a point to call people by their names to make things just easier. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. Make things easy. So easy and universal. The Rainbow Mafia. Oh god. Vorpal was just sharing with us his particular experiences in dealing with I guess I don't know. I don't want to speak. I can't go. I don't want to go up on the chat to read. I give them nicknames. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that. Live and let live, and I just mind my business, and I like when people mind their business. And we come together and let's just respect each other. It's very easy to do, very simple to do. But boop boop. So there are your statistics. Let's take a look at the actual. Dang, did I put? Of course, I did. I put the character sheets that we were using back inside of the box. You tell them to call you Nangsu. Nah, just call me coach. Call me coach or call me king. Okay. Plain and simple, easy breezy. Or did I put them back in here? Looking for the character sheet, so we can just take a look at it. It does look like there's a lot going on the character sheet. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. And I think this is the one that we're gonna be playing in the solo quest. I'm just taking my time getting into it, just kind of kicking back. Appreciate that, Mrs. Coach. So yeah, let's just keep it cool. Everybody's just chilling. Let's just chilling here. Just kick back. Let's talk about some games. You can tell me about your day and stuff like that. And we don't have to worry about dealing with any type of politics or anything like that on this during this time. Let's just kick back and just chill, and have some fun. You know what I mean? I can dig it. You feel me? Man, that's why I kind of just stay to myself. You know what I mean? Because no problems and stuff like that. And then when I do share my time with people, they're normally super, super chill. I run into, like I said, some good people. Definitely the evil laugh. All right, so let me see. Hit points represent how we already know. I'm pretty sure a move. Okay, we got that. Strike ranks determine how quickly they can strike. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna use my little board right here, so then I don't have to write on the big board, and then I'll show you guys. So we got strike points, or what is that called? Strike ranks. That's new to me. So, or at least the name is new. Maybe it's similar. Well, of course it is. Determine how quickly they can strike. Rune and magic points are magical resources used for spell casting, and they have these. Where's those? This is the character sheet. Like I said, this is a pretty big character sheet. This is the biggest character sheet that I've had, or playing any game before. So I can definitely see why maybe initially it would maybe scare someone away from giving it a try. So, but here we go. So we've got your stats right here. We'll take a look at it. I've never really taken the time out to really look at it. So stats, we got some weapons. It looks like we've got plenty of weapons. Let me see. And hit location. So I guess we can target possibly certain locations. And we got our hit points at 12. I'm not sure what AP is, but I'm sure I'll come upon that. So let's see. And attributes. Okay. Rune points. Magic points. Damage points. Healing rate. Alright. Let me write that. Healing's taking some notes along the way. What's up? Okay, and let's see. So we have see here, Colt, Venga, Adventurous, Reputations, 20%. Not exactly sure reputation, but I'm sure we're gonna look through that rule book. And again, I think this solo adventure will teach us along the way. I am not familiar with Game Champions by Iron Crown Enterprises. I'm sure that's what that is. Enterprises. I am not familiar with it, and Oh, my bike. So I have a bison? Is that what? Yeah. Word. So then here are the stats for my bison. And up here, okay, there we go. Skills and passions and percentile. So we'll put those to the side. Percentile dice. I think I'm going to use some different dice. I'm going to probably grab those real quick. Let's see, we've got some starting gear, treasure, and abilities. We can put our acquired items right here. And we've got some armor. Let's see. Carries 20L in coin. All right, so we have to figure out what the, let's see, and then common rune magic. So automatic, I like being able to cast spells. No matter what character I play, I enjoy being able to pick a character that can cast spells. I enjoy that a lot. But I also want my character being able to use a weapon. I'm okay with just a staff because I love a good staff. Let's see, we've got rune magic spells, common rune magic, and rune magic spells. So these must do more points. I wonder if those are the amount of points that it takes that you need to, what do you call it, to utilize it. Probably. Look, it has a rune symbol, which is pretty cool. We've got spirit magic spells. We've got a lot of magic. There's a lot going on. Let's see, and then we've got some information. Spellcaster filled by a book called the Necromicon. Let's see, how to play. Let's see, so you're a natural born leader with a charisma of 19. So I take it that's pretty dope. I mean, I don't know. I like necromancy. I don't do it in real life, okay, guys? But I do enjoy, you know, playing those type of characters. I enjoy those type of movies too, like cult type movies. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I just find it interesting. I do find it interesting. So let's see, necromancy. All right, and I don't really know what this. Oh, here's my fertility. Okay. All right. Let's see. So we got there. So most important actions require the use of an ability. There are 3 types of abilities: skills, runes, and passions. Boom, 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 boom. Skill, runes, and passions. Skills are fields of expertise. Okay, which I'm sure. Learn from upbringing, culture, and apprenticeship. Most can be learned and taught. Most skills have a base chance. The default chance anyone can attempt the skill. This is what I said. Runes are the magical building blocks of the whole world of Glorantha. Alright, so runes are extremely important. They guide and influence everything, and the gods are associated with them. Through understanding and mastering the runes, your adventure increases in competence and in many aspects, particularly with magic. Runes are described. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Runes are important. Passions are strong emotional responses such as love. I was thinking that. Loyalty, hate, fear, usually focused on a particular entity or group. Adventurers have many passions. The higher these are, the more strong they are felt. Honor, however, is instead a personal code. I like that. So I guess maybe that's how to play your character. Let's see. So determining for actions anyone can accomplish without difficulty: getting up, getting dressed. Okay. Success is assumed, not a role required. Determining the chance of success for any action is easy. Most adventure abilities, including skills, are expressed as percentage. Chance of success on a D100 ability with a rate of 0 to. Okay. So an adventurer with a short sword of 75 has a 75% chance when using their sword. Let's see. Cheat. So maybe we can jump into the game because I'm pretty sure, like I said, the purpose of the adventure is to help us along the way. So it's maybe because it's like I really don't know anything. So let's maybe jump into the adventure. Do solo. I love a good solo adventure. We'll keep the rules nice and close. See, make sure I move that up so much. The passion leaves a lot of room for interpretation. For instance, would a barbarian's rage be his passion? A barbarian's rage would absolutely be his passion. So whatever you're feeling strong, well, I guess yeah, depending on the situation. Well, I think it's in general that's something. Yeah, I guess it depends. But a barbarian can definitely be maybe they're raging over a love, over a death of someone, over something that is making them feel passionate enough that they start to rage. All right, so we do our solo. Oh, I'm pretty sure I was trying to show you some of the artwork in here, but we'll see. Look at that. That's pretty dope. I don't know. Hopefully you can see that. That's really nice. Maybe he does just love killing orcs. I guess it just depends on the individual and how they choose to play him. Bloodlust. I can dig it. So, if you're new to playing solo adventures, these right here are like choose your adventure style. These are really good place to start. I have a few of them, and I've got some videos on them too. Fabled Lands, if I remember, I'll pull it over here. Is really really good. Lone Wolf is really 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 good. Tunnels and Trolls is also another good solo adventure. Choose your adventure, and it's super simple, super easy. Let's see. So we're just gonna read these extra sections over here, and to move through the scenario, read through the end of a passage and follow instructions. Okay, of course. And let's see. And so, of course, we've got several potential endings to this scenario. The one you get depends on how you navigated the Battle of Danger Ford. I'm gonna probably slaughter these names. So you should have a copy. Of course, we have Masana's adventure sheet on hand. We got Vasanas. Hopefully, I'm saying that good. We got Vasanas, and there was another one that we're supposed to do too. And Voister. Is that it? Voister. There we go. And Voister. Oops. Let's see. So we're gonna read a couple. We're gonna read this section, and then we go right into the adventure. But let's see. So welcome to Glorantha. See, I'm not liking the theater of the mind. I want those figures on a battlefield. I can do that. I think I do probably a mixture of both. We definitely use Owlbear Rodeo. Well, I use Owlbear Rodeo to run my games, but there are definitely scenarios where it is theater of the mind in certain areas and stuff. So let's see, but I do enjoy. That's why I use a virtual tabletop just for the maps, and they can move the tokens around. That's it. So Glorantha is a mythological Bronze Age setting created by Chaosium? Chaosium? Chaosium. What's up, Dean? I'm over here trying to pronounce the words. So focus on. So we're gonna jump into this solo adventure. I was thinking because I think I was a little scared because I don't know what I'm doing. So I was like, let's go through the rules. But then I'm like, I think the solo adventure is supposed to teach us along the way. Bada bing, bada boom. So now we're jumping into the solo adventure. I was catching everybody up. Thank you for everyone who's taking the time out to tune in and actually like the live. It really, really helps out. Anyone who tunes in afterwards. So let's see. So it's gonna give me an okay. Glorantha is also the setting of RuneQuest, one of the original tabletop role-playing game systems. Vorba was letting us know that it is a very old system. So all Glorantha is made up of and guided by mythical archetypes called runes. These runes define existence, much in the same way that our world is made up of atoms and obeys their physical laws. Glorantha is ruled by runes. These runes act as magical channels for powers of creation. Glorantha Gloranthians often wear them on their skin, and runes are also known to occur naturally in the formation of gemstones or the bark patterns on trees. Glorantha is filled with all kinds of familiar and alien fantasy creatures. Humans are joined by elves, dwarves, trolls, many more recognizable creatures, but even these familiar creatures have their own unique Gloranthan flavor. Glorantha, Glorantha. Humans are less technologically advanced than most fantasy worlds. Okay. They live in a Bronze Age where walled cities and sophisticated agricultural systems are few and far between. Dwarves are bizarre, ageless, metal-born creatures who toil endlessly to repair the ancient world machines. Elves are plants. Wait a minute. Is that a not animals, and are far stranger than players may be accustomed to. I read that right? Plants. Elves are plants, not animals. Alongside these different perspectives on well-known tropes are humanoids. What? Death worshipping ducks? Rhino riding nomads, and 1,000 other secrets waiting for you to explore. This scenario in even RuneQuest itself is only the first step into your journey through Greg Stafford's world. So bolster. Where's the bolster your magic and ready your spear. Glorantha awaits. Vasana, daughter of Farnan. I believe that's right. Let's see. I didn't even really hear her crying like that. Let's see. You enjoy it. There we go again. Warpo, Index Card RPG is your favorite. I remember streamlines everything and so easy as after one play session, beginners become game masters. I feel like you become a game master once you step into that role and decide I'm gonna run this game. You actually put your foot forward and you run your first freaking game. Okay, might not make you the best game master, but it definitely makes you a game master. Like a computer tech or whatever it is. You go your first day of your job. That's your title. That's your title, guys. That's your title. Okay. So you're not initiated into this game master thing. You're a game master. Set your mind, plan, and you execute. Okay. Good job, everybody out there actually being a game master, because I know it takes a lot of effort. It takes some time, good time, but still time that sometimes may not always be as appreciated. You know what I mean? So nice. Yeah, baby, I didn't hear baby, but let's see. Vasana, daughter of Farnan. In this story, you are Vasana, daughter of Farnan. You are a loyal Satirite, a master of battle, a devoted worshiper of Vinga, an aspect of the god Orlanth. Okay, those are pretty easy. Whew. A full biography and description of Asana is included on the character sheet, which I definitely see right there. You can read through this now or dive right into the adventure. We're going to jump into the adventure. I think we've done enough, and we've still got more reading to go. Learning about Vasana as you play. The only thing you really need to know about the hero of the story is Vasana is, above all else, a fierce warrior, which we can tell. All right. She is skilled with a sword, and she is with lance. with the lance she uses while riding her bison. Molin? Like colon? Molin? Let's see. Basana also has a keen eye represented by a high scan skill. Good tactical awareness. So they gave me a good character. I would take it. Represented by a high battle skill and is a competent leader. I like her. Okay. Represented by a high charisma. I like that as well. And respectable orate skill. Do not worry about remembering the mechanical details for now. They are explained to you throughout the adventure, which is awesome. Keep in mind a general understanding of this proud warrior, and you should be able to navigate the upcoming battle successfully and help determine the fate of Sartar, and potentially all of Dragon Pass. I can dig that. Always get you facts, Dean. Always game master and player. Absolutely. I would agree 100%, Dean. I agree 100%. All right, so let's see. More reading to go. I like the design. I'm going to take the time out to look at everything. You know, look at that. I even like that. Okay, I like the way they did that. She does look like a very fierce warrior. Well, she looks like she's got some good armor. I can't really tell by the stance that she's a fierce warrior, to be honest. I'd have to see her in action to believe it. All right, so taking damage. Let me see. Are we still in the camera? Let's see. During the Battle of Danger Ford, Basana will undoubtedly be injured and will undoubtedly injure other people. In RuneQuest, whenever damage is dealt to a creature, it strikes a specific hit location, such as an arm, head, or wing. The damage is reduced by the armor of the hit location unless otherwise specified. Okay. Your armor, of course, reduces your damage, and it is then applied to both the hit location's hit points and to total hit points of the affected creature. Okay. Let's see. Damage in RuneQuest can be incredibly dangerous. It can lead to scars, missing limbs, wow, unconsciousness, and even instant death. For this scenario, the mechanics have been simplified, thank God, to a few key conditions while still keeping the deadly heart of RuneQuest combat intact. So we've got unconscious, uncompromised, dead, and healthy. So unconscious, when hit points are reduced to 1 or 2, she falls unconscious. And put that down. 1 to 2, unconscious. See, learning as we go. So unconscious. There you go. And then compromised. If Basana's limbs are reduced to 0 hit points, they are considered compromised. An arm so compromised cannot wield an item. Makes sense. And anything it carried is dropped. You know, I've always thought about that when I'm running like the games, especially when I was running 5th edition. I was thinking about places that I would like, as the monsters are hitting the characters, and I would tell you exactly how it happens. I'm like, if they actually were to slice their arm, and and it was a successful hit and did a great deal of damage, wouldn't it kind of, mess that arm up to the point where it possibly wouldn't be able to work? I would think about that. So it's interesting that this game has that in here. So I think that's pretty cool. So let's see. Let me see. If a leg or an abdomen are compromised, Basana drops prone. She cannot do anything. It's interesting, which makes sense. Again, I like that. Anything else that round attacks she makes? Okay, we won't worry about that. We'll get there when we get there. So dead. So if your hit points are ever reduced to 0, you die. Okay. The experience in RuneQuest, successful use of abilities merits the chance for experience and improvement. Maybe similar to the way that Dragonbane is and stuff, because in Dragonbane, when you roll like let's say for instance you roll a dragon, you can mark that skill. Whatever skill you roll a dragon in, you can mark that skill. And then at the end of the game, or the end of the session, you go through a few things with the game master, and if you answer yes to specific questions, you get to increase your score if you roll, because first you have to roll, and what do you call it? You roll and you have to hit that skill successfully. Then you get to level it up. Have you designed your own dungeon? Right? Asked me that last time. Let's say, yeah, absolutely. I've designed my own dungeon. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. In card. Boom, boom, boom. So I draw some of my stuff too. And there we go. Maps. Let me see. Do I have a dungeon map on here? I think I did have a dungeon map. Will it do it? Here's one of my dungeon maps right here. I don't know if it's going to show. I'm still learning how to use the program, but I've also got my own, because I draw a little something, something. I can do a little bit more than stick figures. I can do a little bit more than stick figures. Let's see. I got that right there. Okay, awesome. You can see it in the camera because I had to use the iPad. And then I've got this cool city. Thanks, mi amor. Thank you so much. 30-hour dungeon. Like I said, when I run adventures, because again, I haven't really had a group where I've like, it's like just where I'm like, I feel like these are my friends. So I like mini adventures that don't last. I like to do maybe 2 to 3 sessions tops, maybe 5. You know what I mean? So I've got some. This is my little dungeon. I think I'm playing through this. I'm using this to actually play through this. Thanks. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me see what else I have here. Let me see. I think I'm using this as an adventure. I was gonna finish it up with a little bit more trees. I'm getting better at my trees and stuff. I'm learning how to. Trying to. And I'm using this for an adventure. Kind of messed up a little bit there, but I like the way it was going. So I'm actually playing, what am I playing? D&D 5e. I'm using 2024 rules as well as for the character creation, and I'm running an adventure, solo adventure. I have it up on the page. I think maybe I'll be doing part 2 soon. So, but yeah. Oh, this is my Wizard's Tower, like pyramid. Thank you for the Wizard's Tower for my Mouse Ritter solo adventure. So I've definitely got to make some more on here, some more sketches. I think this is the best one that I've created so far. And I'm using I forgot what kind of markers they are, but they're really, 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 really cool. And so it has different sizes, which probably sure everybody is super familiar with. I was kind of late on in the game and stuff, but these are fantastic. It's got a lot of different. You just order the Aztec army to go with your Aztec pyramids. I love that. But these are awesome. All right, so I don't even know how I got there. Oh, because Vorpal. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's see. Experience. Here we go. That's because I was talking about experience. Then Dragonbane. All right. So the RuneQuest successful use of abilities merits the chance for experience and improvement. Throughout the adventure, you will make many rolls for Vasana's skills, passions, and other abilities. On a successful roll, check the experience. There we go. Box next to the ability if one exists. If there is no box, the ability cannot be increased. Okay. So through experience. If the ability is already checked, do not check it again. All right. So and then we've got battle result total. Okay. Let's see. So for this scenario, Vasana's impact on the Battle of Dangerford is measured using a tally, rather than dealing damage to one of the hundreds of warriors on Lunar side and tracking the individual blows, wounds, and okay. Let's see. Sure, you have all the requirements. Here's a plan like a pencil paper. Okay. So the BRT is a general guide for Vasana's effect on the enormous conflict. At the end of the scenario, Vasana's BRT will determine the battle's outcome and she will be rewarded accordingly. Some actions, while strategically efficient, will break the traditional rules of engagement. You must balance your ability to keep tradition, preserve Asana's all important honor. Okay, I can definitely work on that. Value and manage the practical aspects of the combat ahead. So take a brief look at Pasana's adventurer sheet and ensure you have all the required materials to play, like a pencil, paper, and dice. When you're ready, begin. So it's called the Battle of Dangerford. Sorry, my sniffles. The boom boom. I got you, boy boom. Alright, so let's see. I think we've kind of looked, said it looks like a lot of stuff on here. I don't element affinities and power affinities. So we've got fire, moon, darkness, water, earth, and air. We've got power affinities, man, fertility, death, harmony, disorder, truth, illusion, stasis, movement, and beast. These are interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing, how everything works. Let's see. So you are Vasana, a daughter of Farnan. Until recently, you have lived under the boot of the Lunar Emperor, their cruel occupation of Sartar. Your homeland pained your soul throughout your youth. From the relative safety of your mother's farm, you watched a Sartar suffered under you as Sartar. Is that Sartar? Sartar. What the heck, man? Let me see. Sartar. Hey, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess it's not as important as the adventure. Sorry. Where am I? Boom, 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 boom. Sartar suffered under lunar occupation. Each year, your father would venture out into the world to support the cause of rebellion. Each year, he would return and regale you with stories of his adventures. One year, when you were on the cusp of adulthood, your father did not return. He was devoured by the Crimson Bat. Wow, a terrifying monster that the Lunar Empire uses to brutally control its subject nations. The Crimson Bat annihilated your father's soul. He will never know the peace of the afterlife. Yowzers. Such a barbarous act ignited a furious hatred within you. You left your mother's farm and lent your strength to the cause of Sartarite rebellion against the foul lunar empire. You have fought for this cause throughout your entire adult life. Today you are trudging through the trudging through the shallows of the Danger Ford, a strategic crossing along the creek. Danger Isle adds too much background material. You lost my attention. That's what's up, Vorpal. So the creek's only landmass rises from the water like a spiked tortoise shell before you. Every inch of the island is covered with tents, banners, warriors, all sworn to Collier, Starbro, leader of the Sartarite rebellion. Every battle you fought has been for her and her cause, like your father before. The sun has yet to rise and the wind is cold. Heavy gray clouds populate the sky, and echoing ululations. I appreciate that, Dean. Thanks, Dean. You're the best. You're the best. I can dig it with the goldfish brain. I can dig it. Well, you can't. If you're retaining the information from the games and stuff like that, then you probably have a pretty sharp brain. You know, especially if you're learning new games. taking in what you call it, information, exercising your brain. My grandmother was 91 and she was taking care of her business, paying her bills and stuff. Very extremely sharp mind. But she also was, I was just talking to Mrs. Coach about this earlier. She also took the time out to exercise it. She did a lot of reading. She did like a lot of puzzles, crossword puzzles, and all that good stuff. Things, not intentionally. That was just who she was. But I'm sure they definitely played a part in helping to keep the mind sharp. So, but yeah, because I read, and I was reading before, but not to the capacity that I read now, playing tabletop role playing games. I read a whole lot more now, playing, especially on the side and on the channel. So reading is good. Reading is good. Taking in that stuff, learning these things. These are like it's such a healthy hobby. You know what I mean? Good stress relief. Definitely such a really really healthy hobby. So let me see where I was in mispronouncing things. Let's see. So boom, 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 boom. Let's see. The water at your feet stirs its response to their channeled magic, slowly rising like clay to the potter's hand. This magic will deepen the ford and force the lunar infantry to march in high knee water when they attack. As you walk towards the danger aisle. Was that the name of it? Oh wow, I was doing it the whole time, so it's Dangerford. Wow. All right, so Danger Isle, you cast your eyes across the assembly of tents. You recognize tribal markings from a dozen Dragon Pass clans, but there are also banners from Praxian, riders, collections of mercenaries from Esrolia, and a set of ramshackle reed huts made by the ducks of the upland marsh. Each one of them knows the importance of this critical passage through the creek. Each one of them will fight to the death to defend it. Let's see, with such a host of warriors assembled, how can the Lunar Empire possibly think they can win? You finish your approach to the island and walk through the tents towards the opposite banks. You see the hordes of tents looming on the lunar side, and your heart sinks. The Lunars expect the Sartorites to bring an army, and they've done the same. You raise one hand to shield your eyes from the surrounding firelight and scan the opposite bank to take the measure of your enemy. To determine if you spot anything in a shadowy pre-dawn, you must make a roll against your scan skill, which is 50%. Okay, let me look at that on the sheet. What was the name of that again? Scan. Let me see. That must be. So I like these games. I'm pretty sure it's gonna probably be one of these right here. I know there is. It's gotta be. But it said it was 50%. But I wanted to see for myself where it was actually located. You know what I mean? Scan. There we go. Scan. Here we go. Perception, which makes sense. So we've got agility, communication, knowledge, magic, manipulation, perception, and stealth. Looks like you got a lot of different ways to kind of role play this as well. See, I dabble in games. You dabble in games all day from start to finish. Today you wrote a dozen spells to go in the Necronom. Okay? The physical prop used in your dungeon. That's awesome. That's awesome that you have some time to live your best life and stuff. That's why I said, this hobby will help keep your mind sharp. So we got that. So perception is under scan, which makes sense. So it's going to be 50%. So you roll a D100. This means rolling two-sided dice, which we know, using one value for the tens. Boom, boom, boom. And if you rolled equal to or under your scan, that's what I was looking for, of 50%, you pass the roll. If you rolled, let's just do the roll and then we take it from there. I actually want to use some different dice, but I don't have any in here. So I guess I'm forced to use the RuneQuest dice. So we got a 43. So yeah, hold on. So if you rolled equal to or under your scan skill, you pass the roll. Fantastic. So it's equal to or under your skill, at least for that, is success. All right. So learning along the way. Oh yeah. I'm sorry to hear about your stroke and stuff. Working on the farm. So I don't know if you still live out in that area. So I used to live out in the country, and I like it. And right now we live a little ways outside of the city. It's nice and quiet in the area. It's trees. It's really pretty. So, but yeah, I like nature. I like nature. I like green. That's what I like about Georgia. It's green. Georgia is really, 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 really green. So let's see. So we passed that, and if you passed your scan, you go to 2. I'll make sure I put that down here because you know how I do. Forget it real fast. So I'm gonna put that on the board. So 2. I kind of yeah. Let's see. Set to fill, but unless specific outcomes are called for in the passage, only success or failure. Okay, so there are further degrees of success and failures. I also did get a good suggestion when I was playing solo, which I think I saw in the solo dark rules as well, or in the shadow dark book, that you would put like yes, or you would roll yes, and then yes but, or yes and, or but, you know what I mean? So, and it's like that in the what do you call it? The loner books as well, and I think what do you call it? The Dragonbane rules, which are always close to me because it's one of my favorites. Let's see, I have to be near help in case I can understand that. So you live with your family house in the city. Cities are dope. I grew up in the city. I think my personality just fits not the city too much. But I enjoyed the convenience and stuff of the city. This is a very, very convenient place to live. So we're gonna go to 2 because we did a successful roll. So the soldiers of Lunar Army clog the shores. Their tents spaced in even columns. Carefully manicured camp. Oh, we got a cool map too. Let's see, expands back over the horizon. There are at least as many lunars as Sarterites, warriors, but their ranks are far more carefully organized and far better equipped. Sheesh. Team of soldiers silhouetted in the morning mist patrol the camp. You can see ranks of infantry preparing their weapons for the coming battle. Corals of horses are visible in the distance, indicating a sizable lunar cavalry. Let's see, you may add a check mark to the small box next to your scan skill if you survive the Battle of Dangerford. You will get the opportunity to improve all skills you succeed. So it says right now you may add a check mark to the small box next to your scan, next to your skill, and then we get something extra if we win. So I'm gonna do that. Oh yeah, convenient, and the checkbox is right there. It's nice and convenient. I guess I can just turn it this way because I'm gonna use this side more. Let's see. My city is like 3,000 people. Everybody has their nose in your business. Yeah, see. I like communities too, though. I see the benefit of being somewhere where everybody kind of like knows each other. It has the ability to have like a really good community feel. Communities are good, especially when it's a good community. So I like that too. Look forward to finding that where we move next. So we do the check for our scan. I am on number 2. Let's see. We get opportunity. So now we're gonna go to 4. So I'll put that on here, even though I don't see why I would mess up, but you never know. See, doing time check. Excuse me, doing pretty good on time. Let's see. The Lunars may have more soldiers and better organization, but you fight with the fury of the gods. Orlan, the Storm Lord, whistles the names of your champions as he skips along the water, and Humuk, the god of death, sits beside every Sartarite warrior as they whet their blades and don their armor. You walk between your companions, dodging campfires and weaving through rows of cavalry and bison. In a few short hours, you will be tested. You will all be tested. Every Sartarite will have a role to play, yourself included. I am ready. As a member of the cavalry, you will join the Sartarite archers in skirmish as the lunar hoplites advance. When they reach the deepest part of the fort, you will fall back to your bison, ready your lance and shield, and charge the exposed lunar flanks amidst a flurry of arrows and magic from both sides. One misstep, and heavily armored lunar infantry will reach the Sartarite ranks, devastating your forces. You cannot allow this to happen. You are shaken free from a contemplation by the first rays of the rising sun. The soldiers around you shift nervously. When the sun is free of their land, the battle will begin. But for now, the fog lingers. War awaits patiently. You have a short time before the dawn breaks, and you will not rest. Instead, you look to the camp and prepare for battle. You may now pay your respects to your ancestors and to the gods. And the gods, we can go to 33. We can meet the Collier Starbow, Saturite leader. We can tend to your bison mount. Ford the river and scout the enemy camp. You can head to the battlefield early and ready yourself. Let me see. Sun Tzu, all warfare is deception. Sometimes warfare is necessary when protecting your family and the ones you love. Warble. Alright, so what are we going to do? I was thinking about paying the respects to my ancestors, but if we're getting ready to go to battle, that honestly can wait, but maybe paying my respect to my ancestors might bless me. You know what I mean? With a little bit of luck is what I was thinking as well. Heading to the battlefield would be good, and I know it's probably important that I tend to my bison because my bison is important. My bison has helped me and guided me, not guided me, but assisted me. I'm not exactly sure what this bison has actually done for me. I'm just assuming. I'm just assuming that is the case. I'm gonna pay my respects because we haven't started. So pledge your honor to your ancestors in battle. I can definitely dig that. I would absolutely agree. Pay respects. So I'm gonna skip that part. I'm not gonna pay my respects because absolutely I will honor my ancestors with bloodshed of my enemies. So I was thinking about actually, let me go ahead and tend to my bison mount. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to 15 because this thing is assisting me in my battle, in my journey, in my adventure. So I want to make sure that my bison is good to go. So now we're going to go to section 15. We're going to check the artwork out along the way. And we have, there's my bison. That's what's up. I like the, what do you call it? I don't know what they used to write on the bison, or if that's just magic. I don't know. So you decide to tend to your own affairs and cross the camp towards the makeshift animal pens. As you approach, the howls, whinies, and smells of a dozen different species greet you. There are many beast riders within the Saturite army, and only some of them ride horses. Bisons, llama, zebra, and all manner of animal are ridden throughout the Glorantha. Some cultures, including the most skilled riders of all, the Proxian nomads, treat any rider that uses a horse as a mount as polluted. Instead, they ride rhinoceroses, unicorns, impalas, and many other types of beasts. Interesting. Proxian tribes often name themselves after the creatures they ride. The Bison Riders, one of the most powerful tribes, that's awesome, have sent troops to fight alongside Collier Your bison is being kept with their beast. His name is Mullen, and he has been with you for many years. He has protected you in battle. See, I was thinking that he was super beneficial. He's protected me in battles in the wilds and provided comfort through my life. He grumbles to you as you approach. It is good to see a friend amongst the turmoil. So we're going to go to 16 now. Mullen chews happily at straw and leans into you as you brush his thick, matted fur. Once you finish tugging the knots free, you procure a small bowl of Nash pigments and paint runes across his side. Okay, I did that. A bison of unusual motion. Mullen shares your affinity for the movement rune, and you join it in flowing patterns with earth and death. It's interesting balance right there, guys. Earth and death. Your meditative motions are broken by crash of splintering wood and a loud peal of laughter. A pair of warriors are leaning against the edge of a nearby pen, laughing at their companion, who has collapsed through the gate and into the muck inside. The trio are visibly drunk, and although two still standing, have the intelligence to quickly stifle their laughter. The collapsed warrior continues to giggle and fixes you with an incredulous stare. Gloranthan runes are mystical archetypes that dominate the world's symbology. For a detailed description of Gloranthic runes, Gloranthan runes, and descriptions of the movement of earth and death, see page 19. Maybe we should check that out real quick. And then we can go to 17. Since runes are so important in this world, let me grab myself a drink. I'm going to open. Sorry about that. I didn't expect it to be that loud. I'm going to drag myself. I don't know if you can see that right there. The Topo Chicos. There we go. This is the rune set box. The rune set box set. Best solo adventure so far. Okay, well, appreciate it. Let's see. Party at coaches. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let's see. Best solo adventure story. Oh yeah, I read that one part right there. I have something else. Yeah, rune set. It does have some really cool stuff inside of it. The dice that I'm using are also part of the rune set, and it even comes with some a booklet about the world of Glorantha. Excuse me, which is super cool. And here go my dice. Which again, the color has not grown on me yet. Okay, I'm just using them because my other dice are at a distance. Oh man, I got some water right there. Let me use my tiny blanket. Oh man, I can't believe I did that. All right, so we're gonna go to the rule book. We're gonna go to page 19. I'm gonna put him to the side over here, and let's see. Oh, cool. What's up, Sir Stones? What's going on? What's going on tonight? How you doing tonight? You like big dice? I would like bigger dice, to be honest, and a big D20. I would love a a B, D, yeah, B. I would like a big D20 as well. We're supposed to be going to MomoCon together. You like big dice? Can I lie? I can dig that. We're going to MomoCon out here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm determined to purchase and to find a huge D20 dice. So I would love to have one up somewhere in my office. So let's see. And I would like bigger dice, to be honest. Dice can get quite expensive. So I would also like some dice. That's funny. I would also like some dice that are like what do you call it? Gemstones. You know, like amethyst or something like that. and just different stones. That would be pretty cool. So let's see. What the so let's see. Descriptions of the moments, Earth and Death runes. Let's see. We can look up the Earth and Death runes. Oh, and here go, because before it was saying it was more to just a success and then a fail. And it says critical success, special success, success, failure, and a fumble. See. Each rune has a different association, element, behaviors, attitudes, skill category, yowzers, weapons, sensations, creatures, and even physical phenomena. Sheesh, runes are rated like other abilities with percentage values indicating how strong an affinity the adventurer has with the rune. I can dig that. The higher the rune's rating, the more strong its influence should guide the adventurer in their actions. I can understand that. I could get with that. And I guess that's what this is. Yep. We're looking at in the back where I was super confused. I only have 42 sets of regular dice and 12 sets of oversized. A dice goblin, I might be. I enjoy a good set of dice. I really, really, really do like a good set of dice. I was thinking I haven't purchased any dice in quite some time, so I would actually love to purchase a new set of dice. So we were gonna look up Earth. So Earth, the associations. This is what the rune looks like. Here's Earth. Let's see, and Earth communication skills, search worldly pragmatism, sensual axes, reptiles. Interesting. And then we've got Death is power, and it is the cross looking symbol. Interesting. And Death separation, ascetic, endings, denial, ruthlessness. Oh, we forgot the gods. Ernalda? Babister. Babister. Gore. Alright, we should have skipped those, right? Yeah, nah. Nah. We're gonna skip that. Using the runes. Everyone, let's see. Okay, we'll do that. That's good. Let's go back to our adventure. Boom, boom. Thanks, Sword of Stones. Appreciate the support. Mm-hmm. You have a dice tower and you have a D&D dice jar. Word. I wish I could see a picture, but I don't know. I don't think you can put pictures on here. All right. So we are going to 17. All right. So the two warriors still standing slam their closed fist against their chest, a mark of respect. Word. And the collapsed drunk flicks mud at you before writhing about in fits of laughter. Warriors like this threaten the discipline and morale of the army. I could see that. To quell these warriors, make an intimidate roll. If you roll equal to or under 25%, you succeed. You go to 18 if you fail. So let's give it a roll. See what we get. So we got a 64. So we fail our roll. Let's see. If you fail, go to 19. If Fasana ignores them and focuses on... I could have just ignored them. That's what I'd rather do. I'd rather just ignore. But I already rolled and I failed, and I'm just going to go for it. So, let's see. Man, make that about a biscuit. All right, well, whatever. Let's see where it takes us to. So, we're going to go to 18. Next time, we'll just read through all the choices before, of course. So we've got an 18. This is a good adventure. It's an interesting adventure. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to go to 19 because we failed. So you bark a command to the man on the ground, but the giggles in response and spray. He giggles in response and sprays you with mud again. And his two companions pull him to his feet. He flicks a rude gesture. Wow. Okay. towards you and stumbles to the gate, drinking from his wineskin. The trio leave and you return to caring for Mullen. You only hope they are not at your side during the coming battle. Sheesh. All right, now I know. The fools will undoubtedly get somebody killed when the battle begins. Modify the BRT by -2. What was the BRT again? I'll just notate that because I'm sure we'll get to that again. Let's see. I'm pretty sure. So it was my battle result total. Okay. Battle result total. And we're at 19. So now we're going to go, and it's going to be a -2. Mark that down. And we're going to go to 32. Boom, 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 boom. 32. You might buy the box set for the solo adventure. It has some other stuff, some other really cool stuff inside of there too. But it's definitely solo adventure is good. I don't know if I'd pay that much. How much? I can't remember how much it was. Let's see, 32. We've got to make better choices, and we've got to take time to read. You know what I mean? One of my favorite pictures so far. Worship at Vinga's altar. Let's see. So 32. The Saturite camp stretches out before you. You still have some time before the battle begins. Make a note of this entry. Once you have attempted 2 of the options below, go to 50. All right, so let's see. After 2, let me push this up so you can see that after 2 options, go to 50. Like that right there. So let's see. Pay your respects to your ancestors and the gods. We can meet with the leader. We already tend to your bison mount and meet with your fellow warriors. No thanks. Ford the river and scout the enemy camp. That might not be a bad idea. But you may also leave the camp early and prepare yourself at the battlefield. I think that I'm going to, since I've got time, I'm going to go ahead and pay my respects now to my ancestors and the gods because everything seems to be based around. So maybe it will do something again beneficial. So I'm going to go to, and then we know to come back to 32. I'm going to go to 33. So right below. Let's see. So in Glorantha, the gods are all important. That's what I was thinking. There's a vast pantheon of beings that make up the world, and every living creature within it is connected to them. I like that. They are the source of all strength and weakness in Glorantha. They both hold the world together and create all the conflict within it. Some gods are worshipped as the patrons of tribes and clans. Others are personal deities and guardian spirits. Although most people are dedicated to a single deity, all the gods are acknowledged and worshipped when appropriate. You, Fasana, worship Orlanth, the storm god. I like that. More specifically, you are devoted to the female aspect of Orlanth, called Vinga. When Orlanth takes the form of Vinga, she embodies his trademark courage, strength, heroicism, and a strong feminine aspect. You and many others find Vinga as the form of Orlanth most deserving of your worship. I like that as well. Glorantha is a mythological setting, and the worship and identity of the various gods is its defining aspect. Sorry. Basana worships Ninga, but you, in your adventures through Glorantha, will create your own adventures with their own relationships to the innumerable gods. Vinga desires your worship. She may offer you protection in battle if you pray to her. You head toward the makeshift temples on the edge of the island. That's what I was thinking if I went in. So that's actually number 2. So if we don't want to do any more, we can, because it said, you know, once you have attempted 2 of the options below, go to 50. That's what I was thinking before, as far as I figured the gods were a very important aspect of Glorantha. And my thinking was like, maybe if I go and pay my respects to my ancestors, well, you know, just those before, then they would possibly bless me with something. Sneaky protection, to be honest. So, where am I? Where do I go? Oh, I'm tripping. Again, right down. Alright, so let's see. Do a design check. You make your way towards the edge of Danger Isle. Enjoying the procession of worshippers, 2 large shrines have been set up, one to Orlanth and one to Humok. Each is decorated with special fetishes and sacred tokens. Crowds of kneeling supplicants reach forward towards each shrine, placing, placing small fragments of cloth or jewelry upon them. Underneath their breath, they mutter the names of their ancestors. Your mind drifts to your father, Fernand. His spirit is gone, devoured by the crimson bat, but his name and memory remain. If you can stand against the lunar empire this day, then you will have honored the name of your father and his memory. So we're gonna go to right down to the next one, 35. Let me see. Well, as you take the sight of the assembled worshippers, you are jostled to one side by enormous Praxian Stormbolt, cultist. Okay. He pushes through the crowd towards the water of the creek behind the shrines and begins to splash it across his body ritualistically. Several other worshippers around him surround him, cleaning their bodies as a mark of respect. You start to move before you're jolted sideways again. This place, this place is packed with people vying or being for a chance, to give worship. That sounds familiar as well. You step forward and gaze at the shrines. You could visit the shrine of Orlanth, your patron god, to pray for strength, or you could visit the shrine of Huma, the god of death, for purpose and guidance on the battlefield. You're only a lay member of Humak's cult, though. In Gloranthan worship, it is not uncommon to praise multiple gods, so long as the beings themselves are aligned. Given the nature of the day to come, perhaps Humak would be a more fitting recipient, recipient of your praise. Whether or not you ultimately decide to offer worship to the gods today, you can always go to bathe in the waters of the creek and honor your ancestors in that fashion. So to praise Orlanth, go boom. I think I'm gonna go to the shrine of Humar, because to leave the gods be, wade in the river and praise your ancestors. I'm gonna go to this specific god right here because I'm gonna go to there. Let's see. And let's see. So you make your way towards the shrine of Humor. It is much quieter here. Perfect. The worshippers seem more restrained than those of Orlanth. I like that. Most of them sit in quiet contemplation with their eyes closed. The shrine itself is a simple affair. A sword has been placed into the ground, surrounded by a sweet smelling incense that overwhelms the senses. A priest pours blood on the sword from a clay bowl. Approaching the shrine of Humor is like stepping into a bubble. It is as if the sound from the rest of the camp grows quieter upon your approach. I think I made a good choice. I like this picture too. Yeah. Let's see. Humor is the god of death and war. The worshippers here have an aura of quiet deadliness. Word. Several Humakti sword priests The most respected worshippers sit in silence around the shrine itself. Their weapons are close at hand. These fearsome warriors make up the unshakable backbone of a strong Sartorite army. Humor is the war god and master of the death rune. His followers believe the divinity and purity can be found in the denial of the physical world and senses and focus on duty and responsibility. You're only a lay member of Humar, but you still respect his example. Let's see. So, to offer praise, I thought that's what I was doing, was offering him a praise. Or I just was going to the shrine. Okay, so I'm going to offer him a praise. So I'm going to go to 41. You approach the shrine quietly and sit alongside the other worshippers. You close your eyes and begin to recite a set of ancient prayers in your mind. Around you, some worshippers are practicing slow ritual dances. Others chant the words two sacred hymns. Worship can be done through prayer, singing, dancing, meditation, the ritualistic burning of incense, and other practices unique to each individual god. An initiate would make a worship role, but Vasana is only a lay member and does not have this skill. She may attempt to dance, sacrifice something important, or sacrifice magic points. However, Vasana has nothing on hand to sacrifice and needs her magic points for upcoming battle, which I figured that as well. Still though, she can use a blessing. If you choose to sacrifice one or more of Vasana's magic points, mark them off her sheet and go to 42. If you choose not to, go to 43. Let me see. How much magic points do I have? So I have, it says, so I've got 25 magic points. So if I offer, how much do I have to offer? If you choose to sacrifice one, I'm going to sacrifice one magic point as an offering to this particular god. So, so I'm going to go to 42. Put that right there. So let's see. Continue your prayers. You whisper them again and again under your breath until all the world around you fades away. In the silence, you continue to repeat them. You find blissful peace in the quiet. When at least you feel sensation return and your mind reawakens, you feel a pang of mild regret. The camp is chaotic around you, nothing has changed, but you feel like for the first time you are truly noticing the frantic energy of so many people, so closely packed together. The sights, sounds, and smells are overwhelming. You force yourself to relax and let the pleasure, emptiness you found insulate you from the noise. You stand, nod at the other worshippers, and step away. You can feel the presence of Huma observing you as you step away. Increase your battle rate total to by 5. So we had a negative, so I'm gonna say we would probably increase it by 3 because we had a negative 2 from the one of the passages, and now we're gonna go to 47. Word. So you turn away from the shrine and gaze out across the assembled worshippers. The creek gurgles away nearby, filled with worshippers offering thanks to their ancestors. To wade in the river and give praise your ancestors, go to 44. To make your way back to camp, go to 32. So I've praised the gods. Now I think I'm going to praise my ancestors. So I'm going to go to 44 because I don't think the battle has begun, and why not, right? So we're going to go to 44. Let's see. So you step past the shrines and move towards the water. Crude clay and terracotta statues of people have been placed on the banks. You step into the shadows and kneel. As you splash water across your face, you take the time to think of those who came before you, your all important ancestors, those who defined your birth and inspired the struggle. So, this is a good idea because, again, we're all about honor. So, let me see here. Birth inspired the struggle and boons you inherited. To some extent, you share these ancestors with all those around you. Even those who are not linked to you by blood have shown honor to your heritage by standing alongside the forces as of Sartar this day. So, just who are your ancestors? You are Orlanthi. Your people came to Sartar and Dragon Pass many years from the Heartland, Heorot. Okay, since settling here, you see, you fought off pursuers from Old Country, raiders from the east, and lunar occupiers. Yours is a heritage of fighting for freedom. Though others may call you barbarians, you know in truth that you are the loyal and passionate servants of Orland. But what of your more recent ancestors? Your father, Farnan, was a great warrior. He was a champion of Starbrows rebellion, and he fought bravely in the name of Orland. Your mother, a farmer, tended a large farm in Dragon Pass. Each year, you would watch your father leave and wait anxiously for his return, while you helped your mother tend to the crops. One year, he did not come home. You would come to learn that he has been slain by the Lunar Empire. This tragedy would be made all the worse when you discovered that he had been consumed by the Crimson Bat. His very soul was destroyed by the terrible lunar living weapon. You were devastated, but above all, you were angry. You left your mother's farm behind despite her protests to join and fight against the Lunar Empire. Today you will honor your father's memory, your mother's suffering, and the history of your ancestors as you consider those who came before you. The battles and legacy that led you here this day, you feel a sense of peace come over you. Although your ancestors do not grant you magical protection in combat the way the gods do, their presence is of significant cultural importance. You feel a sense of pride and strength. To also, okay, I thought, okay, we're just going to the water. To offer worship to your ancestors, I'm going to go to 45. Okay, so you stand by in contemplation. It is not long before the memories of your ancestors turn to voices in your head. You take a deep breath and feel the heritage and legacy of your people wash over you. 1,000 voices echo through your mind. In particular, though, your father's is missing, but your other ancestors comfort you in his stead. When you finally open your eyes, you can feel endless generations of those before. Oh wow. Let me see, did it do it? Okay, there we go. Because it went out. The live went out. Sorry about that. Went off the screen. Yeah, it's not a bad adventure so far. So let's see. Your eyes, you feel endless generation of those before you watching through them. You spend a moment in the river enjoying the sensation, then step back. You will honor your forebears today. Indeed, I will. I'm going to go to 48. So it is time to go. As you slip through the crowds of worshippers, you hear soft words spoken to you. Glance up. It's by the high priestess of Ornalda, the goddess of earth and fertility, nodding at you in approval. Uh-huh. She clearly respects your piety and your connection to the gods. You smile back, then continue on your way. You leave the gathered worshippers and make your way towards the center of the Saturite camp. Now we're going to go back to 32. Thank you so much, Mr. Man. Thank you so much. Love the channel. I appreciate that. That's so awesome. Thank you. Let's see. We're going to go to 32. And thank you for joining. Uh-huh. Fantastic. So we're back at our camp right now. And I'm going to probably wrap this up in a few. But I think that I would like to follow through with this adventure. I liked enjoying learning Call of Cthulhu, but I was more so the adventure is kind of teaching you how to create the character. I think maybe I need to go a little further so then they can teach me a little bit more. But I like how this one, I'm using the pre-generated character sheet. which I like to start with when I first, I don't mind. It's beneficial, it's helpful. So let's see. So I think we're gonna go to 50 now. Here we go. And how? All right, so we're at 32. Now we're going to go ahead and go to 50 because we did 2 of those things. I'm pretty sure we tended to our bison. Hold on, make a note. Hold on. So we paid our respects to our ancestors. Oh, we didn't do 2. We didn't do. Let's see. Did 2 because we did the one before with the bison. But so this one is 10 and meet with your fellow warriors. I thought I did that. No, hold on. I came upon them and they were like drunk and stuff. All right, so I'm gonna do one more, and I'm gonna go to ford the river and scout the enemy camp. So I'm gonna go to 21, and then that will be the second thing that I'm gonna be done. I like that. 21. Let's see. So actually, this would be a perfect spot to. Let me see. We're on 21, and then 32 is camp. That's good to remember. Just as a reminder, I'm going to go ahead and hop off now. And thank you so much for everyone who's taking the time out to tune in. Thank you for everyone who will tune in a little later. Let me see. I'm not sure, but we may pick this adventure back up. I like it so far. I like the adventure, and I like, again, being able to use a pre-generated character sheet. Okay. So, yeah. And thank you, Vorpal. Thank you for tuning in. You guys have an awesome night. I'll be dropping a video on Friday. I'm going to take all these Game Masters books, and I have tons of these Game Masters books. I'm going to take all of these, and I'm going to create an adventure using all of these and just these to create an adventure. When I say I've got tons, okay, I wouldn't say tons, but I think I've got a nice amount. And I do. I use this one and the NPC one the most. I've got random encounters. I have yet to really use this, but I am going to use this inside of Friday's video. I'm still going. Yes, I am. And I've got dragons. I have used this as well. Not in every session, but I have definitely used this. And another one that I enjoy using is, and the last one of them, is the villains and minions. I've used this quite a bit. I've actually used one of the minions, the villains. I put one of these villains inside of Iran Dragon Heist. But that is it. I'm going to head off. You guys have a good night and peace, everybody.